and welcome to an evening of frank conversation here on Hard Copy, coming to you from our studios in Abuja. I'm Maokwe Ogun Yusuf. About 5 years ago, on the 15th of August 2019, the Nigerian Prison Service changed its name to the Nigerian Correctional Service. The hope was that the name change could begin to reflect the new philosophy of the country for its custodial centers and bring new life in the manner those who have come short in the eyes of the law were treated and rehabilitated. But that hope hasn't quite materialized, and perhaps one of the ways it returned into the consciousness of the public was at the budget defense of the Nigerian Correctional Service recently, when no less than the Controller General of Prisons himself revealed that guard dogs at custodial facilities around the country were better fed at 800 naira per day than an average inmate for whom 750 naira is budgeted. What will it take for the Nigerian Correctional Service to truly live up to its name? Tonight on Hard Copy, I have with me a long-time advocate for prisoners and the founder of Prison Rehabilitation Mission International Incorporated, PRIMI, Bishop Kayode Williams, who will be speaking to this. Bishop Kayode Williams was convicted many years ago for wrongdoing, but was pardoned by President Olusegun Obasanjo in the year 2001. Well, it's good to see you again, Bishop Kayode Williams. I mean, many years ago is when we spoke last, but exactly. Look at you, still going on strong at 70.
At 70?
Yes, I'm starting at 70 last year.
I'm now Papa 70.
You're now Papa 70. You've joined the club. But you have been on this advocacy for prison reforms for a very long time. And it was so sad to hear at the recent budget defense, which was happening at the tail end of last year, that guard dogs at the Nigerian prisons were better budgeted for than inmates at the facility. How did that hit you?
So strong and unbelievable. I can't believe that the Controller General, the man in charge of the prisons general in Nigeria, should make such a costly mistake.
But was it a mistake? Is it a reality?
It's a mistake in the sense that even if it is a reality, he should have corrected himself before coming public. How can you compare dog with man? Even though they are convicted, they are still human beings. And by the Constitution, they still have their rights. What has been seized is their liberty. So if you are going to talk about them, there must be some milk of kindness and humanity. But for the whole Controller General, I was thinking that immediately that mistake is made, because it was Senator
Adams
Oshiomhole who came out with that, this is an the Controller General should have honorably resigned.
Resigned?
Immediately.
In Nigeria?
Well, he knows what he has cost the whole Nigeria all over the world. Because the first assessment of anybody coming to your country is, how did you treat the inmates in the prison? They want to know the stuff, how you treat them. Because imprisonment is not for punitive measure.
Well, that's the idea. So, I mean, 5 years ago, we said we were changing to Nigerian Correctional Service. It's still very hard for us to, even me as a journalist, I still say prisons. Everybody still say prison. It's literal, remember, oh, it's a correctional service now. But it's taken a while for even the name to sink in. How much more the philosophy behind that name change, that what we seek is to rehabilitate those who have now been confined to these custodial centers. Is that message resonating at all?
Yes, the message came in at the right time. We, members of non-governmental organizations and civil society liberty organizations, try to bring in that idea, thinking that if the bottom line can be changed, the correction matters, removing the stigma of the name. And thank God, the president accepted it. In principle.
In principle.
It has been changed. But the willpower to pull the trigger of total change, removing the taproot of stigmatization of that name still remains. Correctional Institute, Correctional Service. A name, all the documents, all the uniforms, including the prison authority uniform. Because even myself, I still make mistake. Because I don't know the difference between what we are correcting from what is on ground now. With the only thing that is corrected is the name. And even it takes some time to even paint the Black Maria. They were trying to change and correct the name, even on the Black Maria. Even the uniform of the prisoners, including the title of all the prison officers. Because we are talking of Correctional Institute, what did Comptroller General wants to do with that? It should be a civil name. He is like a teacher, an instructor who wants to bring to life the people that have been accused, alleged, and confirmed guilty of the offense. But they are not sentenced to death. Even if somebody is sentenced to death, you see an option of appeal. Maybe he will still have another opportunity. Now, if the name is changed and the table of performance still remain the archaic prison style of administration, nothing is removed. No refresher course, no exposure. Go to countries where such institution has been transformed to correctioners to study what they are undertaking. All the trainings the prison officers then took, confirmed as a prison officer, is what they are still using. So nothing, and we continue to chip in, advice here and there. But unfortunately... Where
are you laying this advocacy? Because some people will say, oh, that advocacy cannot be with Nigerians. That advocacy has to be to government, which has the power of policy and which has the power to say this is the area. Because some people will say, if you're talking about this sort of advocacy within Nigeria, well, it's going to happen within Nigerians, but to Nigerians directly, many people might find it very difficult to see sense in what you're saying, because ours is a country in which our justice system is still struggling. Crime is rife, and many people who ought to have been convicted or who ought to have faced justice are yet to come to justice in the eyes of the people. I mean, almost on a daily basis, you hear all manner of crimes being committed, and very little is heard about how quickly these crimes are prosecuted. People are kidnapped, people are killed. And so when people hear that people have finally been confined to a prison, they think that is well-deserved, and, you know, they should just be left there. How dare we talk about rehabilitation for those people? That might be the sentiment within the hearts of many Nigerians. How are you getting this advocacy across?
Yes, you see, you are right. Because getting the advocacy across is a bit difficult. The advocacy is not marketable.
It's difficult to market.
It's difficult when there is no willpower from the government. And it is not the government that really wants the authority of the prisons, this Comptroller General, needed to come out openly and seek the support of the generality of the citizenry of Nigeria to help him. You don't die in silence. You cover up, as if to say to administer the prison must be done in an occultic manner, that people outside may not know what is going on. Prison is supposed to be managed for the people and by the people. And that is why you have to let them know where the shoe pinches you. But you can never hear the prison controller coming out. And that is why I try, with the support of the type of caliber of people working with me, there is a roadmap to reform, reintegration, resettlement, and rehabilitation. And how do we do it? So the advocacy to get deep down the corrupt people again are embarrassing. Because when you say you are punishing these people, or you sentence them and keep them by the... What of people who stole in billions? They did not carry gun. They did not carry gun. They stole with impunity, without respect for humanity, and heavily. And by the time you get them arrested, you start arranging them, you'll be fighting seriously for their bail. And some people are being wasted away, rotting away in the prison yard for committing rape, felony, one or two things that are minor offenses. Some people spend more than 30 years in awaiting trial. Some people are sentenced after some long time in condemned cells. They still find them guilty and continue that they are going to execute them. And they still remain there now for more than 30, 40 years. How do you want the citizen to feel? Even the criminals outside, they know money is going on. People are stealing in lump sum, not in millions now. The pride of today is for anybody to make billion as a minister. Is to make billion, not only politicians, even the civil servants. So I am ashamed to say, even if you are calling these people, they stole goats, they rob at the bank, what of the people stealing with biro in billions? Men.
What should happen to those ones?
My God.
I think that's why a lot of Nigerians might feel, oh, well, there will be some sympathy for those, you know, who have committed what you might term lesser offenses, even though I don't think rape falls on that lesser.
I'm not saying rape is less.
Yes.
What I am only saying that somebody who robbed 30 billion, 50, 80 billion, and somebody who raped, that person has raped destiny of a lot of people. That's
very true. But let me come back now, because you have been at this advocacy for many years.
Yes.
Basically, since you left prison, I mean, after you did some time there, you have been at this advocacy. What progress would you say that we have made in your advocacy? In which areas would you say that we've made some remarkable progress with rehabilitation in our prisons?
Nothing.
There's been no progress?
No progress. What is progressive in people okay, recently, when I heard that the young man that is now the Minister of Interior came in, I was excited. I was thanking God. And I wrote him straight. I have a copy of the letter.
You've written to the new minister, Chunjojo?
I wrote him. I told him my antecedents and what I can do with him if he gives me the opportunity. And he replied me.
Oh, he did?
He did. Fantastic. And I said, I'm waiting. Because we need to sit down on the same table. He has never been to prison. He did not go to study anything about prison. He has the opportunity that the president of Nigeria gave him a portfolio that is a service to humanity.
What would you like him to do first?
Proper rehabilitation. Because what is causing more dangerous crime is that we lack the understanding of rehabilitating those that comes out of prison. We lack the opportunity of rehabilitating the potential criminals who are ready to go to prison. Some of them, we need to bring them in. If we are going to settle the prison matter, there are some hardened criminals. And it is simple. It is a matter of shelter. When we can get hold of the serious business of making all this, what are they doing in the prisons? Some of them are there for 30 years. They never lay hand on any job. You tell me they are sewing clothes in the prison yard. Are they are using prison dresses to learn tailoring? Are they coming outside to come and sew the prison uniform for people? So you say you teach them carpentry. Carpentry, they make chairs and carpentry. There is some boxes we used to do when we were very young for people who want to put money in their bank.
Those little piggy banks, safes.
Those small of colo,
yes,
which they do. Is that what they are coming to do outside? We must engage these people. Aggressive movement of getting all the nooks and corners where the dark people are starting their operations. They know it. We can understand how, but it's not going to be with aggressiveness of punishment. If you want somebody to be corrected, you must draw him nearer.
So you think that those hardened inmates can actually help us solve some problems within society? Seriously,
Mokwe, we are in big trouble. It's like sitting on the keg of gunpowder, which I've been repeating many years ago. If we fail to properly ask these people to come to round table, even criminals, the armed robbers, they know themselves. The police know how citizens can gather them. Ex-convicts meeting. And if you don't want to do it openly, so because of stigmatization, because that is the problem. Okay, he came out with his own policy when he said he assisted people that were released from prison. That is Tunji Ojo. He said he gave them for 4,000 naira for rehabilitation. Human being. It's like the controller of prison talking about giving 800 food to the dog and 750 to the inmates. If you give somebody who has served 7 years, 10 years, 4,000 naira, is it for transportation? Is it for feeding? So there must be an holistic thinking motivated by strategy of proper rehabilitation to all nook and corner of criminality. The criminality that we are facing and thinking of, we are limiting ourselves to the capital offenses. People are dying. People are being killed. Yahoo is everywhere. We can gather everybody.
Now, something happened. I think it was just when the minister came in. It was just the amount you mentioned now just jogged my memory. When he said that he was seeking a certain approval, to be able to pay off the debt of those who were still in prison. They had been fined and they were supposed to pay their fine or, have a prison sentence option. And a number of them could not afford to pay fines, some as little as 10,000 naira. And he decided that, a certain amount of money should be budgeted to rescue, to save those people. I mean, also, let them off prison. It was quite controversial because the amount of money that he was seeking to get was a humongous sum, something close to $1 billion or so. And some people felt that, that money could better be used to rehabilitate the prison itself instead of him to try and see how that money could be used to free prisoners. I don't know if you heard about that.
I did.
And what your thoughts were on it.
I was bitter.
You were bitter about that, about the gesture?
It's a stupid gesture. You don't do that.
You don't think a gesture to free inmates
no.
For small
free
offenses?
Free them to where? To anger?
Not free them, free them.
No, free them to anger. Release them to go and be begging and committing more crime. We need to first of all prepare the ground for them before they come out. You don't release people into an empty world. There must be a proposal, a documentation, a well-articulated program of rehabilitation that can restore people back to their senses. We are going to build houses for you. You are going to be, because you have to work to get...
How is that going to be received by society, Bishop? Look, people who have graduates, who have finished school, who have not committed any crime, are looking for jobs they cannot get. You have a lot of other people who are not even graduates, maybe school leavers, or some who have not gone to any school at all, who cannot get jobs. You have those who are maybe even in rural areas who, as a result of insecurity, have been displaced from their farms and are looking for ways to settle. Government is here to find solutions to those people. And then we say that we want to build houses, or we want to see how we can rehabilitate those who have actually committed crime in society. How is that going to be received?
Our method and strategy of rehabilitation should not be localized to the inmates because we stigmatize them. If you want to rehabilitate, you don't call them prisoners, you generalize rehabilitation. All those that are looking for a job, whether you are a graduate, look at people riding Okada. Okada should be, with wisdom, phased out of Nigeria. But it is difficult because there is no other agenda of what they are going to do. All those people should be part of the rehabilitation. Every dirty job that people are doing to make ends meet should be phased out. We should not be celebrating them and do this senator buy these 35 Okadas for people. Which people? The Okada that they are going to use for kidnapping? The Keke Marwa they are going to use for kidnapping? You don't waste money like as if we are fools. There are places where these people can use that money to work. You pay them salary there. They must be engaged meaningfully. Means of livelihood is important. And then telling them that from your salary will be deducting so amount for your payment. Until you finish paying for your house, you are a tenant there as from now. They will be building. Everybody, not only if you want to do it by saying ex-convict alone or prisoners, or how many are them? How many are they? The total number of the lockup of prisoners in Nigeria today, as of today, is 78 plus, 78,000. So, I mean, compare with the Okadas in almost all states of the Federation, they needed to be rehabilitated. Those are the core criminals, the dangerous element. We are only talking about because they have been isolated out of the whole people. I'm talking holistically about crime in Nigeria. And that is why the criminal justice system should work together. Our working should dovetail to one another. The police, the prisons, the justice ministry. It's
interesting because I noticed that the Secretary General of the organization which you founded, that's PRIMI, is a retired justice.
Yes, Honorable Justice
Honorable Justice Shobola,
yes,
was retired from the National Industrial Court.
Yes.
How were you able to get her on board?
I solicited for her support. I look for meaningful, responsible Nigerians, because when you say you want to give money to people, what percentage? How do you distribute money? What are the datas? Minister of Humanitarian to distribute money to which people? You are giving rights to all the House of Representative leaders and the senators to distribute to their constituency. Where are the criminals being represented? Where are the lame, the blind, the others? I want an organization or a commission. If nobody can, I solicited for Baba Afe Babarola. He's standing by me today. He's ready to donate his money. I want people like Elumelu to bring their money into such an holistic, gigantic project. I'm dying. I told them immediately I clocked 70 last year. I said I've taken my boarding pass. But I don't want to die until I see the fulfillment of the service committed unto me. It's an assignment.
What exactly is the plan you have? From what I can see, you have accommodation as one of it. What else do you see?
I am not looking at the accommodation which I have provided. You can't take them. That is for the inmates. But I am talking of rehabilitating criminals out of crime. We must harvest them out of crime. All these are, and that is what the president is looking for. The president we have now has the will, if we can give him the best support and make him to turn and see the light of how we can use proper funding. We don't want government money. We want all citizens so that they can boast that we rehabilitate our people, not the prisoners alone. I have been given a presidential pardon. I'm not a prisoner today, so I cannot call myself a prisoner. And anybody who calls me a prisoner is a criminal too, because I'm not a criminal. I want something that legacy will be reaching for all of us, including all the journalists. Let us bring out the men and women of honor, integrity, and power with their money and look for a pool where all those monies. Then let all the professors, because they study crime, some of them that are professors of crime, they know the lawyers, let them come. Let all of us sit down. I am giving an open invitation to all Nigerians to help me to help Nigeria.
Bishop Kayode Williams, I sincerely hope that your desire will come to pass.
Amen.
Thank you very much for coming on Hard Copy, and thank you for the work that you do.
Thank you.
Well, that's the program tonight. Your feedback will certainly be welcome to the handles showing on your screen. Thank you for watching. I'm Maokwe Ogun Yusuf. Good night.